our premises is heartbreaking. We are a family-owned business who serves the families of Pace. We can assure you that this was an isolated incident that in no way reflects our service as a whole. The restaurant owners went on to say that they are cooperating with the investigation and looking to regain the trust of their community. Watson said a lawsuit could be filed against the restaurant if they are found to be negligent. Again, the question still remains as to how the drugs got in the food. The Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office says the investigation is still ongoing. In Pensacola, Alexa Daly, WKRG, News 5.
The Georgia man accused in the bizarre kidnapping and attack in Daphne earlier this week made his first appearance in court this afternoon for a bond hearing. That's where WKRG News 5's Debbie Williams learned more about his criminal history and why he may not be getting out of jail anytime soon.
Well, we're learning more about a man that was arrested in Daphne Monday night. He's accused of attacking and kidnapping another man he'd been in a relationship with for the last 4 months. 30-year-old Corderio Laney was in court Wednesday for a bond hearing. He's charged with domestic violence, strangulation, and kidnapping during an argument that began at a hotel in Malbus Monday over a bus ticket back to Albany, Georgia. Investigators told a judge he body slammed, choked, kidnapped, and threatened to kill his partner, the victim eventually escaping by jumping over the guardrail of a bridge on Highway 90 near County Road 66. In court, we learned more about what Daphne Police Chief Brian Goldsby described as Laney's extensive and violent criminal history. In 2016, Laney pled guilty to his part in a home invasion shooting of 23-year-old Christopher Wright, who at the time was the mayor of the city of Dawson. That's near Albany in Georgia. Laney had recently been released on probation on that conviction. Georgia authorities are now in the process of revoking his probation and sending him back to prison. As far as his charges in Baldwin County, Judge William Scully set his bond at a total of $40,000. According to court testimony, Laney had been living and working in Loxley for the last month. His alleged victim remains in the hospital facing surgery for a broken ankle suffered while trying to escape. On the Baldwin County beat, Debbie Williams, WKRG News 5.
We thank you for watching WKRG News 5 at 6:30.
Is tennis, badminton, and ping pong combined, where you can find Mobile's newest pickleball courts.
And the Southeastern Conference is set to release its 2024 opponents. So look at Alabama and Auburn's SEC schedule coming up in sports.
And right now, you look at the radar, there's just a massive wave of lightning that's situated across the Highway 84 corridor. These storms are moving east. The entire line itself is slowly driving south. We're also watching some more of those very nasty storms approaching Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Farmers forecast will keep those rain chances elevated through the next couple of days, and so that could actually lead to some flooding risks. I'll break down your forecast next on News 5 at 6:30. Yes?
According to what I looked up today, it's the third year in a row, that's April 23, pickleball
Works for me.
is America's fastest growing sport.
Thank you.
So it's one of?
Instead of one of, it's sure. That's, so unless Peter said something differently, but
30.
when I looked it up
For some
today,
reason, that thing didn't
it's the
save.
third year in a row.
Yeah. Okay, that looks fine. I wonder why that did that. Okay. Huh.
Welcome back. Pickleball is America's fastest growing sport, and in Mobile, fans have a new place to play.
WKRG News 5's Haley Kennedy is taking you to the city's newest courts.
The swing of a paddle brings a new sound to Mobile James Seals Park on Texas Street.
When you try it one time, you don't want to stop.
Frances Williams is talking about her favorite sport, pickleball. Wednesday, Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimson dropped by the park as the city cut the ribbon on 4 new courts.
We have more calls about pickleball and building facilities for pickleball than any other sport.
The city spent $86,000 to convert 2 tennis courts at the park. Now this doubles the number of outdoor pickleball courts across Mobile. William Carroll represents District 2.
Today is just another example how this park has changed to add the most progressive and quickly growing sport in the continental United States to its plethora of opportunities for this community.
The pickleball players we spoke with hope the new courts will be a positive impact on the community.
We want to reach the kids and the teenagers and stuff to help them to get their mind off of crime.
In Mobile, Haley Kennedy, WKRG News 5.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth with your First Alert Storm Team forecast.
All right, we maintain weather alert status this evening as we are under a severe thunderstorm watch. This watch will stay in effect until 10 p.m. tonight. Now, there are a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings off to the west here. There's also a tornado watch across parts of central Florida, and the latest severe thunderstorm warning actually includes Walton County to our east, but also we're watching severe thunderstorm warnings towards Lamar County in Mississippi, as that is the area just to the west of Hattiesburg. Some strong thunderstorms there. Right now, no active warnings in effect for the WKRG viewing area, but these storms are still producing quite a bit of lightning, some very heavy rain, more very heavy downpours over Castleberry, Highway 31 up to Evergreen. This area has already picked up a good bit of rain. We may see some flash flood warnings issued here shortly. More heavy downpours near Frisco City along Highway 84 south of Monroeville. You'll get a little break. But Monroe County, another storm is headed your way. This line has developed here, and at times it's looked quite ominous, even on the radar picture from Grove Hill down Highway 43 towards St. Stephen's, and now approaching Jackson, Alabama, moving right over the Tom Bigby River this evening. Lots of lightning with that storm. That'll approach the Cortelyou community and Sunflower. In terms of rainfall totals, we've seen some pockets of 1 inch to 2 inch rainfall areas, and then some of those poor drainage areas. You may see some ponding of the water here across Clark and Monroe counties. Back to the west, this is the big question mark. Strong thunderstorm, which has been producing severe weather all the way back towards northwestern Louisiana. This is heading towards Hattiesburg, and if it continues on that track, that would take it into Greene County, Mississippi. So a lot of warm air ahead of this. Stalled front, big, strong upper level winds, and you can sort of think of this as sort of train cars on a train track. These little clusters of thunderstorms that move along that. Still tornado issues ongoing for Georgia and now southern South Carolina. So here's the line of storms as it stands now. Next couple of hours, this will slowly drift south into Escambia County, and then we'll be watching these storms. Those storms right there, that's the storm that we're going to watch move through potentially North Mobile County, Baldwin County, and then by 10 o'clock, that storm picks up some serious speed and races through northwest Florida. I think that storm could be severe, producing some wind and some hail. Now we'll get a break between about 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. before, look at this, more thunderstorms develop. That'll stick around for tomorrow morning, even northwest Florida getting wet to start the day Thursday, before we see additional thunderstorms during the Thursday afternoon time frame, and those will be capable of some large hail tomorrow along with some strong gusty winds. Outside right now, mostly cloudy, 88 degrees, 75-degree dew point. It is steamy out there. There's the view from Atmore looking towards those thunderstorms approaching. Skies are looking dark there from the Wind Creek and Pensacola International Airport as well, looking at mostly cloudy skies. Cooling off where the rain's falling, warm and steamy south of the rain. Tomorrow, we do it all over again. 70% chance that your Green and Phillips umbrella will be needed. Some of those storms will be strong or severe through Friday. And then we'll be seeing normal thunderstorms for the weekend, but it will be hot and steamy. Heat index values approaching 110 in some areas.
Now, Simone Eli with your News 5 Sports from the United States Sports Academy desk.
All right, here we go. The college football landscape will see some major changes next year as several Power 5 schools move to a different conference, like Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC. Tonight, the league announced its 2024 opponents. Each team will play 8 conference games, and every current SEC school will play Texas or Oklahoma in 2024. With the addition of the Longhorns and the Sooners, the conference will get rid of East and West divisions, which means the top 2 teams will play in the SEC title game. And here's a look at Alabama's conference lineup for 2024. The Tide will host Auburn, Georgia, South Carolina, and Missouri. They will travel to Oklahoma, LSU, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. So all of those traditional rivalry games still in place for Alabama next year. Over to the Plains, Auburn is set to welcome Arkansas, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma to Jordan-Hare Stadium. The Tigers will hit the road for Alabama, Georgia, Missouri, and Kentucky. To the NFL now, New Orleans Saints minicamp is underway, and new quarterback Derek Carr is getting adjusted to his surroundings and teammates. Carr's been very impressed with running back Alvin Kamara. The veteran quarterback had high praise for his new offensive weapon.
He's so smooth on film, you really just don't know how good he is. You know, obviously you see the film, but then when you get in person, he ran a couple routes. I remember I looked at Jake today and I was like, bro, like that's not normal, you know. And you just feel his presence when he's on the field. You know, we were able to hit him on a couple little routes and things like that and see him move, and people don't really know how smart he is at football.
Saints will open the season against the Titans this year. To the hardwood now, the Sterling girls basketball program got a huge boost this offseason with a pair of new coaches. New head coach Amanda Niehoff with a huge addition from the college ranks. Former South Alabama women's coach Terry Fowler officially joining the program. WKRG caught up with the Spartans during off-season practice today. Niehoff enters her first season as the head coach after serving at St. Paul's. Meanwhile, Fowler has led the Jags for a decade, winning the division in 2021. Niehoff and Fowler clicked immediately, and they're excited to bring new life to the program.
One of the things I always talk to my former players who got into coaching, hey, go to high school. Go to high school, because if you can give them something you've got now in high school, they've already got it whenever they go to college, or they're going to have a great high school experience because of it. And I guess, hey, it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm doing that at the high school level.
It's huge. Not only the X's and O's, Coach Fowler, his first week and my first week here, when we started with the girls, after practice, we had 3, 4, 5 hours where we just talked hoops. We wanted to make sure that we were aligned with our terminology, our defensive philosophies, our offensive philosophies, and actually we're pretty close to being online with expectations.
So much excitement for the Spartans program. Fowler and coach will continue summer workouts, and then this season will start in November. That's all for sports. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right, here's a look at our severe weather hazards for tonight now through 11 p.m. Highest risk is going to be for some damaging wind gusts, hail, and flooding as well. And then tomorrow, we're going to have another round of afternoon storms. The biggest threat, again, will be the wind and the hail. And we're going to be looking at a higher risk of some lightning as well.
All right. Be careful if you have to get out on the roads. Thank you for watching.
Have a great evening.
Sky 5 drone footage is brought to you by Eastern Shore Hyundai.
We remain weather alert this evening for the chance of strong to severe thunderstorms, additional threats for weather, some significant weather coming our way for the end of the week as well. We'll break down the timing and hazards that lie ahead tonight at 10.